As we go through the day today, let's talk about those rain chances. About 50% chance for us to see some activity out there in the metro during those afternoon to even evening hours. I think that's when we'll see our best time frame is going to be in those later afternoon hours. So newer model data has come in to our weather center. So we'll get you a look at what that could look like. So again, we could see some slower moving storms, especially favoring those high terrain and those elevated areas. So again, that's where we have those flood watches for the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, the Ruidoso area and the Sacramento Mountains. Again, it didn't take much for them to see that flash flood warning and get the effects from that flash flooding just yesterday, and also the Southwest Mountains as well. Again, I think our best chance to see some activity out there on our radar for us in the metro comes as we get into those later afternoon to even those dinner time hours, just like what we saw yesterday. So we'll have to watch for the potential of that flash flooding where you see that green 1 out of 4 risk. That's where we could see some flooding in spots. But again, we're going to continue to monitor this throughout the day today. But not only that, as we go through the next couple of days, we'll watch for a high pressure system to slowly slide its way further to the east. That's going to impact us, especially as we get into the early portions of this weekend. So tomorrow, I think, is going to be another rainy day for portions across the state. This will be one of our last days of more widespread activity across the state. I think for us in the metro is a little bit on the lower end than what we were originally forecasting for with newer model data coming in, but we're still going to have to maintain that flash flood safety awareness as we go into the day tomorrow. So again, another 1 out of 4 risk for that potential of flash flooding. We're going to need to remain on that weather safety awareness side for the day tomorrow. But as we get into the weekend, it's going to be a full 180 flip for us across the state. So as we go through the day today, though, again, that's when we're going to have to watch for that potential of some more widespread rain. But some spots will still remain on that dry side. Roswell, only about a 20% chance of showers and storms today. And I think we already saw that as we got into those early morning hours. But take a look as we get into next week. That's when we'll see those triple-digit highs starting to ramp back up for portions of southeast New Mexico, which is, again, that's where we're going to add in those advisories for that extreme heat. Across the northern side of the state, again, I think some spots will have better potential than others. Again, Farmington, only also about a 20% chance, but then we really dry things out as we get into the weekend and even into next week. Las Vegas as well, where just the other day we had those daily rain chances, but now as we get into next week, it's a little different once we introduce the drier air. Same with the North Mountains in Santa Fe. Again, today and tomorrow, better potential for the rain, but notice as we get into the weekend and even into early next week, again, we'll start seeing some drying conditions. East Mountains have that potential as well to see that activity this afternoon. And again, for us in the metro, I think it's about a 50% chance. Better potential, though, as we get into the later afternoon hours and even those evening hours as well. Rain chances start to drop off by tomorrow, and we really dry things out for the weekend. Some spots, though, across the state will still get to see some rain as we get into next week.